Most bankers aren't ready to help you until after their third cup of coffee. But with Central National Bank's after-hours service, you don't have to wait for the bank lobby to open to get help. You can contact us from 6 to 8:30 in the morning or from 5 to 10 in the evening, and we'll connect you to a real, live, local person who can answer questions and fix problems 7 days a week. Bank different. Bank Central. Central National Bank. Member FDIC.
This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
White trash fight all through the night, deep in the heart of Texas. The trailer park is nice and dark, deep in the heart of Texas. That drinks his brew and he spits his chew, deep in the heart of Texas. The TV blares, but no one cares, deep in the heart of Texas. Here we go!
Hey, everybody. Welcome to
Wow.
King of the Hill podcast. I am Mike.
And I'm Rusty.
Rusty, it is a That Ain't Right Friday.
That is correct.
And we are
Yes, that ain't
still kind of thinking about Johnny Hardwick and Dale Gribble, of course. Because of his passing, you know, it's rough. But
right. As fans, for sure. And,
Yeah.
As a dude named Rusty.
But I wanted to kind of go on the other side of that and show how much laughter and fun he brought us, right? And so
Oh, for sure.
one of the easiest ways to do that is go over the conspiracy theories that Dale Gribble has had throughout the years. This is from ScreenRant.com, so they're the ones providing this. And I'll just go in no particular order here. But the first one is Cubans stole his lawnmower. So this is the one where Hank makes a miscalculation when he steals Dale's brand new lawnmower. This is when he has the Allegro, and it's everything's Allegro. He's in the shower with his Allegro stuff on. Paranoid Dale becomes convinced the lawnmower was stolen as part of a vast conspiracy involving Cubans, and it doesn't help matters that Hank goads Dale with fake clues and photos. That's the one where he puts his dog in it and puts a hat on him. So, first one, Cubans stole his lawnmower. You see a thread start to develop as you read these things. The next one is the UN controls the weather.
That one is my favorite one. I actually want to get a tattoo that says "We'll grow watermelons in we'll grow oranges in Alaska." So I'm gonna get an orange tattooed on it, and then inside of the orange is gonna say "We'll grow oranges in Alaska." For
according to Dale, global warming is part of the UN's vast plot to control the world. Hank tells Dale if it gets any hotter in Texas, he'll kick Dale's proverbial behind. I think he says ass, but he's gonna kick his ass if it gets any hotter, which I'm not sure Dale controls it, but
I don't think
it's
he
still
controls
funny.
It is funny though,
yeah. All right, so next, Dale thinks he's a clone.
Dale thinks he's a clone.
In order to avoid a confrontation with Hank, Dale weaves quite a spectacular tale. So it turns out I'm not the actual Dale Gribble, but a clone of him. He tells Hank. Hank is quick to dispel Dale's story, listing 4 reasons why Dale is not a robotic clone. The most salient reason, he says, you're not going to clone a super warrior out of a guy who can't even win a thumb wrestling match. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Hank's got a point there. I don't know why anybody would clone Dale.
I don't know why anybody would clone Dale either. The madness that man is not clonable.
No kidding. It's not like he's, rich and powerful or anything like that. This guy, he kills bugs for a living when he has a job. The next is the government wants to harvest his organs. After Dale has agreed to give his kidney to a 10-year-old boy who will die without a new one. That's way further down. Dale works himself into a frenzy at the hospital, high on anesthesia and various medications. Dale becomes convinced the hospital really wants to harvest his organs. Dale escapes his hospital bed in search of his kidney, which he insists needs to be surgically placed back into his body. As it usually goes, Hank arrives on the scene to set Dale straight. I don't know what season this is from, but it's pretty far down the line.
Yeah, it's pretty far down the line.
Yeah. Another of his conspiracy theories is that the Super Bowl is pre-taped. He's standing in the.
That's a common thing right now that's
It
going
is.
around the NFL too, about how the NFL is scripted and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think it's scripted, but I think they do. It's like how the running back positions died over the last like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah,
I think
sure.
they do manipulate the rules and how the game is.
Sure, they do.
How players are paid and how players are whatever, just to make a more exciting game for fans to watch, because they're really heavy on receiving right now, like throwing the ball and putting up 400 or 500 yards a game.
Well,
and
it's like they
pretty
did
much almost eliminated running backs.
Yeah, it's like they did with
doing that.
basketball. Basketball went for the 3-pointer, and that's dominated the game for the last 10 years.
Yeah,
so.
and not only has it dominated the game over the last 10 years or so, people are getting so good at it. Like, if you want to set the bar higher, you have to move it back further. You know what I mean?
I think they need a 4-point shot. So 1 year during the Super Bowl, and we've covered this episode, it coincides with a special performance from Hank's niece, Luann, who wants to showcase her manger babies.
The manger babies.
Hank is torn between viewing his favorite sporting event and supporting her. Dale does say the Super Bowl was pre-taped 6 months ago in the same Nevada hangar where they faked the moon landing.
The moon landing.
That is, and I don't think it ever goes any further than that, but Dale has quite the conspiracy head.
He does.
He can find it in anything.
He's got a lot of them.
Because I say that because the next one is Joseph is an alien. Dale prides himself on being the ultimate spy, a man who constantly surveils everyone on Rainy Street. Somehow Dale remains in the dark about his wife Nancy's affair with John Redcorn, and he raises Joseph as his son. Even though it's obvious that Joseph looks just like Redcorn, instead of accepting the truth, Dale develops a bonkers theory about his son. Joseph is really an alien, and Dale wants the teenager to accept his heritage.
Oh, wow.
I think that one's further down the line, too, for us, right? We haven't covered that one yet. Yeah, because Joseph, I think he's in his teenage years at this point. At Dale, and this comes from Monday's episode, he gives us the truth about peanut allergies.
Oh, okay.
While the guys are in the insane asylum, he tells the doctor that the peanuts are emitting toxins as evolutionary defense mechanism. That's why everybody's so allergic to them now. They're tired of being eaten, and now they're fighting back. The peanuts are fighting back. Here's another one that we have covered. It's the USPS's PSYOPs campaign. So this is the one.
PSYOP.
Yeah, this is the one with Dale. With he goes nuts in the forest. He's got the knife in his mouth. He goes. He's talking to Hank, and he says, I think this is after he's gotten them together. Because he ties Hank and Bobby up to that tree.
Yeah.
And he says, the U.S. Postal Service is bogged down in the most elaborate PSYOPs campaign in history. First, they fatten us up with all those 2-for-1 pizza coupons, and then when we're too logy to put up a fight, they sell us off to the Red Cross, who removes our kidneys, which go back to the pizzas to start the process all over again.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, so the United States Postal Service is selling your kidneys and putting them on pizza. We've also covered this one. All computers are sentient. This is when Hank goes to buy Peggy a computer, and this is when it's all in the tapes. This is the VHS thing. And so Hank finds himself on every X-rated mailing list in the country. A downtrodden Hank lets Dale regale him with stories about the Beast, a sentient computer system responsible for ruining Hank's life. It's all, of course, part of a vast global information conspiracy. So, and that one I can kind of get on board with him because I don't know if you remember, but a few years ago it came out that all computers go to the U.S. government first before they're shipped, and they put a chip in them so that they can track you anywhere or watch what you're doing. That's an actual thing that actually happens. But because of our society being so we just don't care about privacy anymore.
We don't care at all. Yeah.
Because of all the EULAs and stuff that we never sign, the
nobody ever reads that
all
stuff.
the arbitration, all of that stuff. We just don't. We've been ground down to just accept this stuff.
Accept it is for what it is.
So when that came out, everybody was like, yeah, okay, I can see that. And then it just kept moving. It wasn't a big deal. It's kind of like the alien thing.
Well, that's the thing with some people that worry about that, like location and all that kind of stuff. It's like, does it really matter?
No, and that's ultimately why I don't get on the bandwagon of any of this stuff, because there's nothing I can do about it.
Yeah, so that's how I feel about it. I don't necessarily like it.
Whoa.
Or
hear that? Big car show down on Austin Avenue here. We're up.
We're on the 21st floor.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a loud car.
We're 21st floor, and you're still hearing.
That's a big 454 big block.
Yeah, that's a big one.
It's a big motor. Yeah.
The next one is that Hawaii doesn't exist.
Okay.
Yeah, it's obvious that Dale doesn't
Hawaii.
get out of Arlen very much, so it makes sense he would raise questions about the existence of the 50th state. In fact, Dale has the guts to ask, is there any proof that Hawaii actually exists? So, I mean, I don't know. And having said that, I went to a concert last week.
Yeah.
I went to see Danzig, right?
Yeah.
Which a lot of devil type stuff in there. But when I got there, did I already tell you about this? When I got there, I texted my wife because they were like Coca-Cola ads on the wall and all this stuff and big screens, and I just told her the devil went corporate.
Oh yeah, no, you didn't. You did say a story from that, but that wasn't the one. Yeah. That's
as
funny.
we were going there, my buddy and his niece were talking about the fact that the moon doesn't really exist.
Oh wow.
He starts this argument with, I mean, we can all agree that the moon hasn't always been there. And I'm like, no, we can't agree that the moon is not always been
There's
there.
not a point in my life where I haven't looked at the sky at night and there'd been a moon there unless there was clouds.
There are so many conspiracy theories now, and YouTube has really ratcheted that up.
Yeah, there's a lot of them out there.
I watched
the whole QAnon thing.
Oh boy. I watched a documentary about it and about the algorithm, and how YouTube does it. Boy, all you got to do is watch one video, and then, boy, you are pigeonholed as a conspiracy theorist, and it'll show you flat Earth stuff. It'll show you everything
you don't want.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, that is it. That's kind of
it.
our tribute to Dale's conspiracy theories. Yep. And you want to tell them where they can find us for Monday?
You can find us at bwaakoth.com. You can find us podcast anywhere you find podcasts, and you can also find us on youtube.com/bwaakoth.
Make sure you check out our Patreon, patreon.com/bwaakoth. If you can help support this show, it does cost money to make it, and we would really appreciate it. Also, you want to tell them about Good Pods and things like that?
Yeah, you can go to Good Pods and check us out on there. I'd appreciate it. We've gotten a lot of traction over there on their website. We're the number 2 animation podcast of all time on their website. The only other one that's in front of us is
TED Talk.
A TED Talk. So yeah, we got beat by TED Talk. I'll take that. Also,
we should do a TED Talk, and then we'll just
we should. Right? We should be able to do a TED Talk
about King of the Hill
on independent podcasting. But we're not considered independent podcasters because we're underneath a network.
We'll do a Hank Talk.
That's crazy, right? They don't consider nobody. We could do a Hank Talk.
Hank Talk, not TED Talk.
Yeah, that could be a alternative content.
Do our Hank Talks. Yeah.
We could do a Hank Talk. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
If you can support us on any of those fronts, we would really appreciate it, guys.
We'd
and
appreciate
also,
it a lot.
don't forget, if you want to send us addresses and your names and stuff, we'll send out stickers.
That too.
And we've got some other stuff kind of in the works. Hopefully, we'll have some more merch and some more places for you to go. But I want to thank, again, everybody for tuning in.
Thank you for tuning in and continuing to tune in week after week. Our numbers are just always slightly going up and up, and
I think
we appreciate it.
The Monday episode was our 75th.
The Monday episode was the 75th episodic content episode.
Right. So if you include the Fridays, we're well over 100.
162
Yeah.
is this episode. I think is 162 recorded.
Amazing.
162 recorded episodes.
Well, when you think about it, if you just think about the history of Rogue Media, we started over there on Washington.
This is our
Washington.
With me being partnered with you
Third
doing
location.
this stuff. This is the third location that we've been at.
Yeah. And I think
1, 2, and then 3, and I think the next thing is like having our own building built somewhere, right?
Next thing doesn't include me. I'm going to be dead and gone.
You're going to be dead and gone.
Yeah. It's happening next Thursday. But I'm just tired of moving, man. 4 places.
Oh, I
in
can
4
imagine.
years.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I still got crap over at all the places.
Yeah.
But again, thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you again on Monday.
Wimatanya.
Wimatanya indeed. This has been a Rogue Media Network production.